Hey guys, the following is a podcast produced by the Georgia Cyber Center at Augusta University. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to have a wild time.
Welcome to In the Wild. Each week, your host, Raysean Ricks, will catch us up on all things Augusta University and everything else.
Welcome everyone to In the Wild. I'm your host, Raysean Ricks, and joining me in the studio live is Angela.
Hello, you guys.
Angela, how are you today?
I am good. I am better now that the weekend's over and all of my work is turned in. I had encountered a problem with a computer in the library because I was using Final Cut Pro, and I'm still learning it, so I'm still learning how to save stuff, and I just saved it on a computer. And then the computer all weekend was on maintenance, and my assignment was due on Sunday, 11 p.m. So I just, had to redo all of my work, but I did it, and I submitted it, so I'm fine. But thanks, Andy. Shout out to you. Closing the computer on me, but I know. Things happen.
Oh, that's a horrible deadline, that Sunday.
I know. All of my deadlines are Sunday at 11 or 11:30. And I'm stressed.
At least you got it done, though.
I know. I was super stressed because I already, cut the videos and put them all together to make sense and added music and did all this stuff. And it was a goner.
And I always feel too, when you have to redo it, it's never as good as the original. Or at least that's true for me. It's never as good as the original because you don't want to take all the same time that you put into making the original.
Yeah, it was a very stressful process. I remember texting Josh being like, I hate my life. The computer's still on maintenance. But yeah, it's all good. What about your weekend?
For me, I had one of the most awkward encounters at Hobby Lobby. So for those that don't know, I'm a painter, so I like to just see things on social media or just in person, and I just like to paint them. So I was going to Hobby Lobby to get some canvases because I wanted to paint some new stuff for our new location for work. And I don't know about everyone else, but when I go into stores like Hobby Lobby or Joann's or any home decor or a place that has home decor, I have to wander. I have to just go around and I have to touch everything, and I have to just even though I'm not looking for anything or wanting to buy anything or spend a lot of time wandering, I just have to wander. I just have to go.
My brother's the same way. I'm like, why do you do this? You're not going to buy anything. And he's like, I have to. I'm here.
Exactly.
I have to do it.
And so I had told my friend, I was like, hey, because we were together, I was like, hey, do you mind just taking me by Hobby Lobby so I can get these canvases? Of course, we're on this side of town. And he was like, I'm not sure. And I was like, look, I'm not going to wander because I really just want to get these canvases to come out. And so he was like, okay. And so I go get these canvases, and we're on our way back. And I was proud of myself because I did not allow myself to wander. And this woman stops us and was like, oh, I guess canvases must be on sale because everyone's just buying them. And I'm like, yeah, they kind of are almost always on sale at Hobby Lobby. That's why I get them here.
Everything's on sale at Hobby Lobby.
Yeah. And so she was like, well, I'm having a painting sip at my house. Y'all should come. And I was like,
oh my God, this is a stranger. Invite her to your house.
Complete stranger. And I was like, oh. And then my friend was like, oh, well, we have another friend coming in town, so we're going to spend time with her, which we actually did have a friend coming in. And she was like, well, that's what everyone says. And I was like, well, I don't.
We don't even know you, lady.
One, I'm telling you the truth, and then two, I'm not going to prove it to you. That's just weird. And she was like, so what are you painting? And I was like, oh, just something for work, just trying to keep it short, and I'm trying to inch away, to
slowly walk away so she can get the memo.
Because I'm trying to get, I'm trying to go to checkout. I just want to be done because I said we're only going to be in here for a minute. And she's like, okay, well, what colors are you using? And I was like, I haven't decided yet because I'm a painter, so I'm just going to feel it out whenever I get ready to paint it.
Make it as I go.
Exactly. I kind of knew what colors I was using, but I haven't figured out exactly what colors I was using. And I'm not about to tell you my projects because I don't need your unsolicited advice.
Detail with this stranger.
Exactly. And so she was just asking me about the colors of the walls at work and have we done this? And, oh, you should try an acrylic pour for, da-da-da-da. And I was like, no, thank you. We're like, we're good. And she just would not take the hint. So we were probably talking. Well, she was talking to us. We were really talking to her for like almost 10 minutes. And she was not stopping the conversation. And I was still like trying to inch away to go to checkout. So I'm like, felt like a mile away from her. And she's still talking to us. And she's showing me pictures of her on her phone of all the things that she's painted and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Help me.
No, and I look at my roommate and I see him looking at me and I was like, okay, can't look at him because if I look at him, then I'm going to start laughing and I don't want to be rude. And I was like, I'm about 2 seconds away from just like lying to her and just being like, oh, we have somewhere to be, like, or something just to like abruptly end the conversation. And then she gets a phone call and she just like walks off. And
didn't even say like bye.
Like, there was like
nothing.
a bye or see you later, nice talking to you, anything. She just like walked off, and I'm like, okay, I don't even know what to make of this.
Just like so useless.
Exactly. So I just, that's why I just like shopping online, because you don't have to interact with people.
Or like that. Like if you're gonna interact with me, at least say goodbye. Like what?
Like it was just the most bizarre interaction that I've had with someone in a very long time.
I had a bizarre interaction in Walmart when I was looking at shower curtains, and then this guy came up to me and was like asking me if I was married and all this weird janky stuff.
Yikes.
And I'm like, please get away from me. I'm just trying to get a shower curtain for my new place. I don't want your unsolicited love that you're trying to give me. I don't know, but just get away from me.
Like, why do people do that? Like, why are you trying to hold a conversation with me and you don't even know who I am?
Yes.
And you're not even really like introducing and trying to get to know me. You're just trying to make conversation for what?
Yeah, the people are just bold, I guess.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know if it's just because I'm more reserved, but I don't like being bothered when I'm about to check out. Like, just leave me alone. Like, I'm a high and by type of person. Like, even if I really know you, like, I get so awkward in seeing people, like, in grocery stores because I'm like, hey, but I don't really like to hold a conversation. But anyway, that was my weekend, having to deal with this crazy person.
Awkward strangers.
Yes, this awkward stranger. But coming up, we have one of my good friends. Her name is Taylor, and she's going to talk a little bit about life after graduation, because for so many of us, I know for you, Angela, because you're graduating soon.
Yes.
Like, that's a really important topic. And I think she has a very great story to tell about how she got to the point of soon opening her own bakery. So
you guys are going to love her. She's awesome, and she gives great advice for soon-to-be graduates or students just still going through the process.
So, yeah, we'll have her when we come back.
Jaguar is the official news source for Augusta University. From student life to the latest on our amazing faculty and staff, we've got you covered on all of our campuses in Augusta and across the state. As educators in liberal arts, cyber sciences, research, and clinical expertise, there are great stories to be told every day. Check them all out at jaguar.augusta.edu.
Welcome back, y'all, to In the Wild. And I'm joined with Angela and our very special guest, Chef Taylor Rutledge. How's it going, Taylor?
It's going well. Nice to meet y'all, Miss Raysean and Angela.
Why are you acting like we don't know each other?
I know. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm trying to be professional.
Well, we know that after you graduate college, everything is not what it seems. Because I know a lot of times students will feel like, once I get this piece of paper, like I can just conquer the world and I can just soar. But the opposite can actually be true, because a lot of people still aren't soaring right after they graduate. And that's, I think, the case was for both of us.
Absolutely.
We still had a lot to figure out.
Absolutely. It's a huge misconception.
So I was so glad that you were able to come on today so we could talk a little bit about your experience of just soaring now, but before we had to figure some stuff out.
Absolutely. Yeah, like it's a roller coaster that you go on after graduation. It's not like you graduate and then boom, you have your dream job, or boom, you start a business. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of planning. It's a lot of patience, aggravation, tears. Not even gonna,
blood,
lie.
sweat, and literal tears.
Exactly, blood, sweat, literal tears. Actual literal blood in my case because I'm a chef. Because I did go to culinary school right after. We graduated in May, and I started my culinary program in October. And the utensils they give us are really sharp.
You jumped right in. You did not take a break.
No, not at all. Like I think I applied to the International Culinary Center in January before I graduated, and once they said I was accepted and able to come in, I was like, oh yes, I have to go because it's my passion, it's my dream. I've always wanted to be a chef. I think I've said that for many, many years now. And so when I had the opportunity, I leapt.
Good, that's awesome.
Thanks.
Angela, don't let us scare you too much for talking about this post-grad, because I know you're getting ready to graduate soon.
I know.
And we don't want to scare you too bad. So
I know. It's because people do say, once you get that paper, you can start things, but it's not like that.
Yeah, that's not always
really
the case.
not.
It's not that simple.
Because I feel like maybe for certain degrees, maybe that can be
Right.
true. But I feel like you still, especially while you're still a student, like you need like work experience and just like life experiences. So that way when you figure out what it is you want to do, you can kind of start doing that. Because I know we both got our degrees in communication, but our first jobs outside of, what we're doing now was not necessarily in our field.
Not at all.
That's what I'm worried.
Yeah, honestly, I was delivering pizzas.
Doing what you gotta do.
Yeah, before graduation and a little bit after, right before I went to culinary school, I was delivering pizzas at Domino's because. You got to do what you got to do. Like, it's not.
Exactly.
And there's no shame in doing the, waitressing. Like, I did waitressing. I was, I worked at Hollister. Like, you can.
I was an Uber driver.
Right. I was an Uber driver for like a week, but Augusta's not really the place for that. at least the place where I was roaming. I don't know.
I don't know about you, but I made some money. I was able to pay rent from my Uber.
Really? I must
Yes.
have been in the right place.
Games. Because Josh wants me to be an Uber because I have a new car, but I'm not feeling it because I don't want people throwing up in my car or any of
Girl,
that.
do DoorDash. People love food.
That's true.
Or Uber, yeah, like
Or Uber
food
Eats.
delivery.
Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Do food delivery. There you go. You ain't got to worry about it.
And I'm on
People.
Davis Road, so I'm like in the middle of it all. I could bring everybody like stuff.
Absolutely.
I didn't have any like car throat run-ins, but I came really close one time.
Oh, really? You had drunk passengers?
Yeah, like it was these two. Well, this is a really funny story. So I was in Athens getting ready to start my then new job. And so we were doing training in Athens. And so I was like, while I'm here, let me just like drive for Uber, And I usually wouldn't drive at nighttime because I don't see that well at night. And I don't want to put no one else through my bad eyesight at night. I don't need no bad reviews. So,
5-star rating.
so yeah, I decided to just go against my better judgment and to go at night to make some money. And there were these two girls that I picked up from downtown, and I was taking them home, and Athens was new to me, so I had no idea where I was going, and it's late at night, so I'm just like basically literally the blind leaving the drunk blind. Like
Floundering.
And then I just remember just hearing one of the girls in the back like kind of like just give like this like moan, like the sick moan.
Oh,
no.
And then she and her friend was like, "Here, just lay in my lap." And I was like, "Oh no,
Oh, no.
And she was
don't
like,
lay down.
Yes.
Don't lay down.
Don't
It's
lay
right.
down.
Open the
Exactly.
window, get some air in your face.
And she was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, just go to sleep." And in my mind, I'm like, "No, please, please don't go to sleep." And I was probably 2 minutes from dropping them off, and she's like, "Yeah, I really have to throw up." And I'm like, "Floor it." Like, you are not gonna throw up in my car because I am not at home. I have no way to like clean my car. So I was like speeding in this neighborhood like late at night. It was probably like 11 o'clock at night. And then I get to the destination, and then she's drops her phone trying to get out of the car. Right. So I have to put it in park. And for them to like look for it, because it just like fell underneath the car, and I'm just like, this girl's gonna. I just swear, I know she's gonna throw up in my car. Let me just mentally prepare myself. But thank God she did not, and I was able to drive away expeditiously.
Absolutely.
Like I was like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be really bad. But it turned out to be not so bad.
Uber does not play with throwing up either in the car. They charge you over $200.
I think it's $250.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They definitely charge you for that.
Because you got to
So,
get that thing clean.
Students, do not go into Uber drunk and throw up, okay?
Ask them to pull over. Pull over, please.
Okay, and that with the pulling over, they may leave you. I've encountered that.
Oh, wow.
Hey, I mean,
Bad review for them.
absolutely.
Yes.
As you should.
So, Taylor, what would you say you struggled with the most from graduating to actually finding a job? Because I know you went to culinary school, but like, how were you able to support yourself in that transition period?
So, all right. So, when I went to culinary school, I went to the International Culinary Center at the California campus. They're no longer, that campus is no longer open, so it's only the one in New York. But I was able to experience like one of the last few classes there. But what I did was, so being a military student, a military brat, my father's, what's it called? GI Bill. Like helped me pay for the institution, as well as provides me a BAH stipend, which is pretty much for housing. And so I was able to use half of that for some of my like living expenses. And then once I wasn't able to, or when I wanted to like start making a little bit more money so that I could like start saving, I actually got a job at Frost Cupcakes, which is it's a cupcake shop that surprisingly won Cupcake Wars.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so that was like super exciting for me because she had like the display that she had like on the show and everything. I think it was like a into the space theme or something like that. So it was like in the shape of like a spaceship.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, so I got to work there for like a couple months, and so that was really exciting just to get experience working in a bakery and then working at an established bakery that actually won a show that
bakery.
Yeah, like I watched Cupcake Wars forever. So it was like when she told me that, I was like, please let me get this job. Pretty please, Lord, please.
Yeah, that's one thing I think I learned along the way was that sometimes when it comes to trying to establish yourself, you just got to do what you got to do. And like every job opportunity that you have may not be like the dream job right after graduation or not the most Instagram postable opportunity, but you just got to do what you got to do to get where you want to be.
That's very true. That is extremely true.
And get that experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I feel like that's what it's all about. Like all the jobs that you work, they tend to like prepare you for what it is that you do want to do. Like working at the cupcake shop, I was able to learn like the process, like being there at 5:00 in the morning because you have to bake cupcakes and like get frostings ready, all the different types of flavorings and all that good stuff too. So it just really like mentally prepares you for what you're, at least for me, for what I was like trying to go into, Did
you experience any like post-grad depression?
That's a great question.
I've never heard of that. That's a thing?
Post-grad depression is extremely real.
Whole thing. It's
like,
a whole thing.
Okay.
And I can vouch for that personally because I know I experienced it both times, graduating high school and graduating college. Like just that, because I was highly involved in both, like high school and college. So once you completed that chapter and you kind of have that like moment of, I don't know exactly what I'm doing, or I don't know what the next chapter will hold for me.
Unknown gray area.
Yeah, that gray area can be very like, can leave you feeling very empty. And I know that's how I felt.
Oh yeah.
Both times, because I was like, I don't really have the job, or I don't really have the placement that I necessarily would want to be in, or I didn't think I would be exactly where I am.
And look at you now.
I know.
Look at me now.
You.
So yeah, post-grad depression is real. And I know other people who experience too.
Yeah, I would say I didn't have it as much when I graduated from AU, but definitely once I left the International Culinary Center, I graduated them in 2018. And so my big plan was, I'm going to stay in California. I'm going to work at a prestigious restaurant as a pastry chef, et cetera, et cetera. And then when you figure out how much it costs to actually stay in California, you're like, yeah, no, I'm going back to Augusta. So I had to make that huge decision to even come back to Augusta. So that had been my second cross country drive.
I don't see how you did it.
Me and my daddy. Thank you, Jerry. So like once I got back to Augusta, I didn't have a job. I really didn't know what I was going to do when I got back here. And my best friend, Tiffany, she actually referred me to ADP because that's where she was currently working. And of course I was like, I don't want to work at ADP. Like I want to be in the kitchen. Like I want to be baking. Like I'm a pastry chef. I should be in the kitchen. But like you can't just jump into a kitchen,
Yeah.
So I feel like I definitely experienced that probably for like until I mustered up the courage to well, actually, no. I think I experienced it until we got the building, which was in December of last year. And so, like, I was going through these phases of like being up and being down, and I was like, oh, well, I did get the job at ADP, which was, great. I genuinely appreciated that job.
Yeah, and they hire so many like AU grads, so I think that's a great company to work for.
It really is, and they have like wonderful benefits too. And I did enjoy working at ADP, but how it's just not what you're supposed to do.
It just wasn't.
Absolutely,
yeah, like it wasn't for you.
No, like it wasn't. It wasn't what I should be doing. And I was going through these periods of like, well, what is my purpose kind of thing,
Yeah.
And like me and my parents, we have been looking for buildings ever since January of last year. And it was just a lot of ups and downs, like a roller coaster, because we'd find a place and then it would get taken, or the people weren't like picking up the phones and things like that. So it was like we were going through this roller coaster of emotions, and I just felt like, I'm never gonna get a bakery.
After all that.
Yeah, and I was like, so like, what am I gonna do? Like I'm a whole pastry chef, and I'm answering phone calls all day, every day, Monday through Friday.
I didn't know ADP was like that.
Yeah, it's a call center, but it's not your typical call center. Okay. It's a little more lax, but the information, we're more like walking people through how to do things rather than like taking orders and things like that. So it's more like a help center, I guess, is what it could be better called.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But once I found the place, once we found the building, I definitely felt like that cloud was like lifted, and like sunshine started shining down, So it was like
you're finally like able to like get your craft going and do what you were like made to do.
Right, and it's I'm the boss, that's the difference. It's like it's me. I'm in charge.
CEO.
Yeah, exactly. CEO, boss. Like Cake Boss, who's like Buddy Velastro, who's like my idol in cakes.
Oh, really?
He says, I'm Buddy and I'm the boss. Well, I'm Taylor and I'm the boss.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you about your business. Did you like save up for this like over years, or did you kind of just, was just like, I'm going to do a business and that's it. Like, I'm just going to figure it out. Like, was there like any planning? Like, what advice would you give to someone who wants a business basically? Like, what would you like tell them?
Right. So, what we can like obviously say is that us as, just regular folks, not celebrities, we don't get handed a bag of money and say, oh, here, go start a business.
Exactly.
With your $1 million loan.
Yes, exactly. Like, here's your $1 million loan. You can just go start a business. Nope, not realistic. Luckily for me, I've been blessed to have like two amazing parents who fully support my vision. They've supported it since I was like, pretty much ever since I brought the idea to them that I wanted to do cakes.
That's like so important. Like,
yes,
parental
having support.
Like support for real.
Absolutely. And so me and my parents have been looking into like different ways to finance it. I didn't purchase the building, so I am renting it. So I would say if you are trying to open a business, look out for renting places rather than buying them, because it is like, it's expensive it's expensive to try to buy a place for thousands of dollars rather than renting it for a couple thousand, you know?
For sure. And that's a commitment when you buy it.
Absolutely, right, because then you're in charge of everything.
Everything.
Exactly.
Everything.
Anything
okay?
happens, like, it's all on you.
Everything.
Well, I'm sure with that everything, you mean everything.
Absolutely. But a couple of other things that you have to think about when purchasing it is having all your licensing you have to pay for that stuff. Like you have to pay for certifications. You have to pay for, for like inspections and things like that too, like the fire inspection, the health department, all those things add up.
For sure.
And so for me, I did take out a personal loan in order to finance some of the things and to like help pay the rent and things like that. Because, you know, I have my own personal bills for my own rent.
Exactly.
Rent. I emphasize rent. Okay. And so I utilized that. And then me and my parents are also looking into, I want to say it's called a small business. It's like a small business loan, an SBA loan, which they do for people who are in areas kind of like downtown Augusta, which is like developing. And so we're looking into getting that loan coming up here soon. And so that's going to help like finance certain things.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And I'm so proud of you because I remember when we first met. Do you remember how you first met?
Well, there was a couple of ways we met.
I feel like we met like on two different ways. Okay, so the first was when we were in the computer lab, which I'm not going to tell that story because that was just really silly.
Yeah, it's okay.
Do you remember what I'm talking about though?
Yes.
And then the second one was because you lived above me and y'all were probably the loudest neighbors I've ever had.
Love you.
And I live with RAs who put in like noise complaint. And so you came downstairs and you brought us red velvet cupcakes.
I sure did.
Oh, did you?
I sure did. That's
my goodness.
That's how you make friends.
Exactly.
Yeah, she apologized. You're like, we're so sorry. We've been making all this noise. Here's some cupcakes. And we're like, oh, thank you.
Want to come in and play Uno?
Is that what happened?
No, literally, because we
Pretty much.
decided.
Oh my goodness.
Like one day we had bumped into each other and you're just like, oh, my best friend is coming in town and let's play Uno. Like you're invited to come play Uno. And I'm
that
like,
is so true.
I'm like, I'm a beast at Uno, so if y'all want to lose, sure, have me.
And
Have me as your guest.
Raysean is so, when I tell you, it's more serious than playing spades when he play Uno. I promise you, he is the best Uno player, but it's so much fun playing with you. It really is. Like, you're a beast.
This is just like a different, when it comes to card games, just a different person. There's just a whole different side of me that comes out.
Absolutely. It's Ray.
There's
There's Raysean.
I don't know if this person has a name, but it's like, and I'm not even extremely competitive. I don't think it's just, just a whole different person.
It's just you're just really good at it. He's just
good at
really
Uno.
good at it. And it's just like,
Some people are just good
it's
at it, you know?
Like, I may not be good at a lot of things, but I'm top 3 in Uno.
and spades.
And
Because you
spades.
taught me how to play spades.
Did I? Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure. Because nobody else would teach me.
Because I often don't teach it. Because usually by the time you find somebody that knows how to play spades, you don't want to really take time out of that opportunity to teach somebody else.
Valid. Very valid.
Because it's like, no, I just want to play with the people that know. Like, just watch.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You just watch and catch on. Which I think I was watching for a little bit, and then you kind of like helped me a little bit. You're like, okay, all right, now here's what you do. Which I greatly appreciate, because now I can be like, you don't know how to play spades?
So you can judge everybody else that doesn't know how to play spades. So out of like this entire experience from you like kind of going and you figuring out how you wanted to go to culinary school and you wanted to open up like a physical location for your business, like what do you think motivated you throughout the entire process? Like what keeps you going?
Honestly and truly, like I just think back to the 11, 12-year-old me who presented my mom with let me say the way that I kind of got started into baking and decorating things is, like I said, I watched Cake Boss and Cupcake Wars and stuff. And I told my mom, I was like, oh, I can do that. And she was like, Like, you know how she gives you that look like, okay.
Like, sure.
Yeah, okay.
Like the kids who are like, I'll be president type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, baby.
Right, because previously I wanted to be a monster, so it's like, you know. And so she had got me a little thing of clay, like a little thing of yellow clay, and I had made a rose out of it. It was, to me, it was the ugliest rose thinking back at it, but she was like, I see potential, like I see it in you. And so me thinking back to that little girl that made that rose, it's like, I can't give up on myself. Like the only person who can, promote my success or to, achieve my success is me. And that's how I feel. Like I can't let myself down. I can't let that little girl down because she worked hard on that rose. She worked so hard on that rose.
Oh, that's so cute. That story, I was not expecting that story. So I love it. It was good.
Oh, thank you.
So cute.
Yeah, and I know you also have something for our listeners today.
Yes, I do.
Y'all better listen up.
That's right. So if you are in the wild listener, I will provide, if you come to my shop during my soft opening hours, which will be from 11 to 5, Wednesday through Saturdays, you can receive a 20% off discount if you mention In the Wild.
So yes, and tell them where you're at.
I am located at 1022 Walton Way, Suite A. If you are familiar with the Diablos down there, I'm literally right next door.
So yeah, go get your Southwestern food and stop by Taylor's Cakes to get a lovely treat.
That, like
Absolutely.
your salty fix and your sweet fix
Absolutely.
right there.
Yes, get you some
Absolutely.
dessert.
Please do. And also, if you mention the key word, which is bombolinis, it is kind of a hard word to remember. So if you remember the word bombolinis, you will get I will offer you a free package of those bombolinis, which are
yes, I love free.
Yes, they're delicious.
Free is me.
Absolutely, girl. They are delicious, like little fried balls of dough. That's the best way I can describe them.
Oh my goodness.
When you taste them, your mouth is going to water and you're going to want to come back and buy them. So if you mention bombolinis, you will receive a free bombolini.
Bombolini, everybody.
And how can people keep up with you and all of your creations outside of coming to your bakery?
All right. If you would, please like and follow my Facebook page. It is Taylor Made Cakes, and that is Cakes with a K. I'm a little bit different, so it's Cakes with a K. Also, the domain was chosen for C. Just being real. So if you follow my Facebook page, as well as I do have an Instagram, Taylor Made Cakes as well. I believe the Instagram is Taylor.cakes or Taylor.
Okay, Taylor. You got to figure this one out.
Taylor.made. Yeah, Taylor.made cakes.
Taylor.made cakes.
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe?
Just follow the Facebook.
Okay, we'll just add it in the description.
We'll add it in the description. I'm so sorry, y'all. I should know it.
For the episode. So that way
I
there's
definitely
no
should know
confusion.
it. I'm so sorry. I should know it.
But thank you so much, Taylor, for being here. It means so much that you're like our first alumni guest.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really elated to even be here. Like I'm just happy to support your craft, Ray, because I support you in everything you do.
Yes, and vice versa.
So it's just really awesome to just see you thrive here. And so when you offered me to be a guest, I was like, of course. It's helping you and it's helping me. So I got you.
I wish I had a gift for you, but you actually have a gift for us.
I sure do, because what kind of chef would I be if I didn't bring y'all treats? So I made y'all my red velvet
They come
cupcake in a jars. Absolutely.
I'm so excited.
They're so delicious, I promise.
I can't wait to have them. And thanks so much for y'all for tuning in to In the Wild. And we'll see y'all in the next one.
Sweet. Thank y'all. Bye.
Augusta University's Parking and Transportation Services launched an app to track the JAG Express shuttles called Passio Go. Passio Go is a user-friendly app that lets users know where the shuttles are, the names of drivers, and even the capability to set up an alarm for bus stops. The app can be downloaded for free on all Android and iOS devices. Passio Go is active right now, so feel free to download the time-saving app now.
And we're back with In the Wild. Having Taylor here was awesome, Angela, don't you think?
It was amazing. She is such a great energy. Oh my goodness, she just radiates happiness.
Yeah, and I think that's why we've been able to just be friends for so long, because she's definitely an extrovert and I'm on the introvert side, and we just kind of pair up really nicely.
Yeah, she is the bomb. I really enjoyed her.
And for those that are listening, I just really want to emphasize with those that are about to graduate really soon, it's okay if you have not gotten that job opportunity yet or haven't figured out exactly what you want to do, or even if your degree is not going to be what you plan to do. Like, all of those things are okay, and that's just a part of life. And like with Taylor's story, what you get a degree in may not be exactly what you end up doing.
Yeah.
And in some cases, it is what you end up doing, because that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it happens. People think that once they get that degree that they're going to get the job of their dreams, but it is not like that. You have to have experience. You have to have a really well thought and well put together portfolio that they want to see, and that takes experience. You can't make a wonderful portfolio as a student. You just can't. Like, you're not doing certain things for companies then. You're not doing commercial things. You're just not, it's just different. People, get bummed out by it, but you shouldn't, because there's time. Life is a journey. You're going to go crazy places that you did not expect.
Yeah, you're on no one else's timeline, so.
Exactly. But she was the bomb. Definitely check her out when she opens tailor-made cakes. Do not forget Bombolini.
I'm excited to really try these cupcakes in a jar, even though I've had them before, but I think because it's free, it tastes even better,
Yes.
Well, that was all the time we have for today. Thanks, y'all, so much for tuning in. Check out Taylor's Cakes. Follow us on Instagram and all of those type things. What's your IG, Angela?
Oh, Twirl My Curl. Follow me, Twirl My Curl, okay?
Yes, and let us know what y'all think, because we really want to make this podcast about y'all. So if you have any ideas of what you want us to talk about, or have any ideas for guests that you want us to bring on, let us know so we can add those to our schedule, because we want to make sure that y'all are having a good time while we're having a good time.
Yes, definitely love feedback. Feedback just makes everything better.
All right, and we will see y'all in the next one. Have fun, guys.
Bye. Hey, you guys. So I wanted to tell y'all about an app I've been using on campus. Rave Guardian is a widely used app across universities to improve safety. The app features a safety timer, which is a virtual escort on campus, the ability to submit anonymous tips if something suspicious is happening, direct two-way communication with public safety officers, and even one-click emergency dial. The app offers so much more, but I don't want to keep you here all day. Help is always one click away with the Rave Guardian app. Download the app and let us know what you think.
Thanks for listening to In the Wild. If you like what you heard, then give us a nice rating and review this podcast on whatever you use to listen to your podcast. To keep our conversations going, follow In the Wild on Instagram at In the Wild Pod and Augusta University on all our social media platforms. Don't forget to follow me, your host, Raysean Ricks, at Raysean Ricks, to send me questions you want to be answered on the show. Tune in for new episodes every week, class in session, because we don't want you to miss a single thing happening on campus. You can also find more news stories at jaguar.augusta.edu. Until then, I'll see y'all next time. Stay wild out there, guys.